So I got asked by somebody yesterday. I was at my work. I wasn't working, but I was just having dinner. And I got asked by somebody that I was talking to, like, now that I've gone through everything that I've gone through and, what am I looking for in my life? And it got me thinking. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was peace. I'm looking for peace. And he's like, well, what are you doing, in order to get that? And it got me thinking this morning when I woke up, and like how the peace that I have not had has come from me allowing people to stay in my life for far too long. And I talked about this a little bit the other day, but the truth is that, like, every person that I've struggled with long term after I push them out of my life because I realize they're no longer good for me, it's gotten to the point where, like, my name has to be lied about constantly in order for them to prove or justify the way that they treated me. And I realized that I'm the problem. Like, when you have that many issues with people over time, and it's kind of like the repetitive cycle that I was talking about before of, just not getting a different result, then you have to look at yourself and think, maybe I'm the problem. Like, I really am the problem. And the problem that I have is that I have loved too much. I have given my heart too much. And I have allowed people to stay in my life after they've proven that they're not good for me for far too long. And so at the time that I finally make the decision that I want to move on, the damage is so bad. I didn't see it. I don't see it because, when you're in a mess, I don't do meth. When you're in a mess and, like, you're in it, you don't see it for what it is truly because you're blinded. You have blinders on and you're in it. So it's hard for you to see it. But when you step out and you look back at what the things that you went through, that you allowed, the things that you tolerated, it's almost like, you want to punch yourself in the face and be like, what were you thinking? Like, why? Why did you allow that to happen for so long? But the damage is so done that there's so much, so many things at that point that the other person is able to use against you. Because, the way that abusive people work is that they're very, they can be calm when they need to be. They can be manipulative. They can be condescending. They can be really good at gaslighting. And so as you're living your life through this chaos, they're doing all those things and making all of those things an issue that comes from you, because nobody talks about the things that make you react, only your reaction. And so Danielle becomes this crazy person who, can't control herself, when the truth is it doesn't come out of nowhere, And so this is just me sharing some thoughts on, once again, how to establish peace in your life. It only comes from you. And it comes from you by knowing the truth about who you are and not tolerating stuff. I don't care if it's your family members. I honestly don't care, like, who it is. I don't care if it's somebody that, gave birth to you. If they don't treat you right, they have no place in your life. Like, I hate that whole thing, like, oh, well, family, family's family. No, it's not. Family is not family, okay? Because if you were truly family, then you would be understanding of the person, and that you don't just get to walk all over people just because you feel like you need to, you can do whatever you want because you're family. Like, I have a very small circle of people now that I trust, and it's going to stay that way for a very long time because I'm retraining myself how to trust people by trusting myself first. And the only way that I can trust myself first is by listening to my voice and not having other people in my voice telling me that, well, but we've been friends for so long, or we have so much history together, or we have children together. I don't care anymore about any of the history. I care about my future. And right now, my future is what I'm looking at as, yeah, I've made mistakes. I've let people in my life and stay in my life for far too long. And the reality is, I don't have to say anything negative about anybody. I don't have to justify my reasoning for leaving situations. But for whatever reason, the people that I finally decide that I need to move away from feel the need to spread lies and talk about me and use my heart condition and use my health and use all the things that I've gone through against me as a weapon. And it's insane. Like, it's insanity is what it is. And I'm finally starting to realize that, like, the first time that you see something that is off, or feel something that's off, or something that goes against your boundaries or your moral compass, or anything that you just feel is not right, it's time to let that person go. And it could be a first date. It could be a first encounter as with a friend. It could be just somebody. I mean, I personally can get a vibe off somebody just by meeting them the first time. And like, there are people that I just stay away from after I meet them the first time. Nothing that they necessarily did, but it's something that I feel like I know in my intuition to stay away from them. And a lot of times I turned out to be right, but for whatever reason, I can't do that with people that are closest to me, because I care too much and I love too much. And I'm not going to stop loving, and I'm not going to stop caring, because that's not who I am. Because I want to love and I want to care, but I'm not going to allow it to be a repetitive behavior towards me any longer, because I'm worth more than that. And the truth is that Jesus himself would not tolerate that. And so, we can love those people from a distance, but if you're constantly talking, if there's people that are around you that are constantly talking negatively about other people in their life, I want to encourage you to step back and listen to the voice that is inside you and say, why does that person feel the need to mention that person in such a negative way so often? Chances are they created the problem. They're just not willing to admit it.